Hello, I am the Sparkle Queen, aka the Angel. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm testing out my microphone. I don't know if it's going to work, so if it does, you will see it in the video. But if not, you probably won't see it. So if this makes the cut, that means it's working. So the first thing I want to talk about today in this content is about karma. And many people that we know that are nice people, you think to yourself, that's going through something. Why is this happening to such a nice person? You know, you only see them doing charitable things. They are nice to people. They're friendly to people. They help where they can. They're supportive. But yet you hear or see situations that they're going through. And you wonder to yourself, gosh, you don't deserve this. Well, let me explain to you how karma works and how I have come to my understanding. So myself, I have issues, or I've always had issues with females from a child right up to an adult. But the influence behind the issue with the female is not directly a physical thing. It's not directly, it's not just alone a physical dispute. It is also spiritual. So how I came to that understanding is recently, in the last year, I have had a particular female who was very codependent, controlling, and had attributes that I personally would not partner with because of my own belief system and understanding. And this female became very angry that I wasn't doing the very things they felt like I should do, that they dictate, or to click up with them. I'm not the type of female that likes groups and click up in groups. I like soul connections, and I will gravitate soulfully in directions that serves me a higher purpose. But anyway, back to the story. So one night I was sitting there watching the television, and I was also semi-falling asleep. And I could hear this female say to me, "Oh, hello, Auntie Angel." And I thought, and I'm in the room, and it's like this audio, spiritual voice saying to me, "Hi." I'm thinking, I don't know the sound of this voice. I don't know this person. Then they said, "Oh, it's your old friend Nettie here." And I thought, I don't know nobody called Nettie. Who's this person talking to me? "Yeah, you don't remember what you done, do you?" So I'm like, I don't know a Nettie, and I don't know what they're talking about. And then they started to use words to incite hate and attack against me and hatred towards me by saying to me, "Oh, you don't know what I will do to you. Oh, you don't remember what you done, do you? Yeah, I just don't even like you. I can't stand you." And just a lot of hate and discord. And for me, for the life of me, I'm thinking to myself, well, obviously this is something that's not happened in my lifetime. This is something someone's carrying as this resentment from a previous life. And not only they're carrying it, they have not managed to cross over because they're holding on to this very same resentment. So they haven't managed to cross over. And I'm thinking to myself, this voice sounds like a Caribbean woman's voice, and it sounds like the person's voice similar to the person that I am having these push-pull issues with currently. And this person is telling me that you don't know what I'll do, I'll mess you up. And I thought, what would warrant this kind of attack, this behavior, this kind of obsession, and feeling like they've been wrong done by? And what I've realized is that when people don't work on themselves, it takes little or next to nothing to them to believe that you have done something. And ultimately, they are also trapping themselves, because when we walk this life cycle and we choose to not learn, we choose to not grow, we choose to not excel in our soul's growth, it doesn't change once you pass into the spirit realm. You still hold on to all those resentments that you're carrying on earth. And that's why when God tells people to forgive, He's not saying forget and accept people's crap or stay with people that are abusive. He's saying this: you can distance yourself. But for your own self-purpose, let go of any hate, any anger, any resentment, anything towards people you don't know and also people you do know. Because what it does, and from what I realized with this person, who I felt I did know, but I don't know them in this life, is you could be trapped for 150 years trying to fight the same issue from 150 years ago. It doesn't serve you one bit. But you have to forgive and say to yourself, okay, this person is going to act out in a certain way. So actually, before I explain that, I want to say, so the person that I believe the person that for the female that is here in my lifetime, that I felt that it was channeling towards, then started to behave in a very dysfunctional and unkindly manner towards me. But I could see, I was warned beforehand that this person was going to act somewhat similar. How? Because they were the closest female around me. So I knew the backstory of why the person had this behavior. And this is where relentless obsession comes in, to believing that people have done you wrong when nobody's done you wrong. It's just that you are codependent. You are looking outwardly and blaming others for your own downfall, for your own misfortune, for the things you can't forgive. Nobody can stop your life. No one. Unless some people can try. But if you're in the presence of the Lord, they will not prosper. They can never prosper. And ultimately, you will hold yourself back because you remain in the same dark energy that you pick up. We all have a choice within us to do the right thing. Many people don't choose to do the right thing. If a spirit jumped into me and said, go and have a problem with that random stranger because they didn't give you the bun this morning, and I'm walking around for 30 years complaining that this person never gave me the bun, the bread bun or something stupid. But ultimately now I'm crossed over. I've got an issue because they didn't give me the bread bun, and 200 years has passed. And I'm following this energy, this orbit around, making myself relevant through the fact I'm holding on to resentments that are so stupid and petty. And this is what's happening when it comes to people on earth that have good deeds. They may have had bad energy in their previous life. They've come back and done the soul's work. They've grown and they have spirits from previous life attaching to them in this life. I hope this making sense while I'm explaining this. I'm trying to go as slow as I possibly can, because we all have life cycles. We all have to come back up until a point we never have to return. But when you reach the place of never have to return, that means you've lived out and experienced every emotion there is to experience here upon the earth. But how you overcome it is where you really triumph. When you triumph through every emotion and you don't allow that trauma to keep you back, you become that lotus flower that's in the murky waters, that's in the darkness yourself, and you've understood where emotionally you are not applying to your life. Let me give you some examples what I mean by different types of emotion, meaning you know when to apply logic, love, gratitude, humility. You let go of fear. You don't allow fear to dictate and control your life and where you want to go in life and what you want to do with your life. You have unity. You're part of a community. You show kindness. You show support to people. You know, if you've been through, there is also the opposite, is where you also are attacked in different ways, whether it's abuse, you know, things of that kind of nature. And instead of you, as an example, if you as a woman was married into a family and your husband abused you, and then you've had children, and then those children, those male sons that you've bared, grow up and get married, and they get wives, and then they treat their wives abusively like the husband, their father treated you. And instead of you correcting your son and saying this is not the way to go, you get a sense of enjoyment from it because you feel I was abused by your father. So, it's not just me. You're learning the behaviors is wrong instead of gaining satisfaction from the behavior. That is soul's growth. And when you can teach your children the right way to be, they will grow up to be the most outstanding version of, not citizen, but the outstanding version of themselves. So when you see someone that is innocent and they receive karma, unfortunately, it's for the deeds that were wrong that they done before. And sometimes when it's the karma from before, how you will know that it's a karma from a previous life cycle is that there is nothing you can do to support or help that person for them to step out of that situation. It is only God and God alone that can break that cycle, that can stop those attacks, those spiritual attacks, because it's a spiritual fight and it's not a physical fight. So when you as physically trying to help them and you realize once they explain their situation to you, like, oh my God, this is a sticky situation, how are we going to get out of this? There is nothing you can really do to help them. It's going to be something that's just going to pass in its season. So that's why sometimes when people are going through karma that are good people in this lifetime, it's a process that's just going to have to play itself out. And the person that is stuck in the spiritual realm, who has not learned to grow, who's not learned to accept and understand forgiveness, so they can also release themselves. If you're anybody that feels like you are being spiritually attacked, or you're having karma, or you've had an experience like me where the person is holding so much anger and resentment that they've spiritually appeared to you and you've heard them, write them a letter and say, listen, I'm not sure what it is that I've done, but I hope that you can forgive me respectfully, and that maybe at some point when we're both in the same alignment, we can sort out whatever. We can hash out the problem and come to a place of love and peace, and ask them, just go into the light and wish them on their way until you can align with them again. Because that is really what they need. They need an apology. They need a sorry. They need a forgiveness from you. Maybe in the previous life, if you did do something, you never apologized. You never acknowledged their hurt. You never acknowledged their pain, even if you thought it was stupid, because sometimes what we think is stupid is not stupid to other people, or what we think is not worth or warranted an upset from someone else is not as important to us. But if it means something to somebody else, you ask them for forgiveness. And forgive yourself, because we don't need to beat ourselves up. So when you meet people who are behind you spiritually and they haven't ascended in this lifetime, just know that you was there where they was in a previous lifetime. So feel sorry for your enemies, and that's where the saying comes from. Pray for your enemies, because they are really spiritually wrapping their own self up. They're binding their own self up now on earth and in spirit realm, and they could be bounded on the earth for years, hundreds and hundreds of years. Pray for your enemies. All right, I am the Sparkle Queen. I hope that helps. I hope the mic's working. Let's have a look. Yep, I hope the mic's working. And until next time, please also pray for me as well. I will like some prayers, please. Thank you, and bye for now.